Good morning, students. Zoology, second lesson, second chapter, human reproduction. In the previous class, we have studied generally about reproduction, from the sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. What are the different types of asexual reproductions? How bacteria reproduce, how paramecium reproduce. So, like that, lower organisms, invertebrates, how they reproduce. That we have studied already. Now, today and this class, we are going to study about human reproduction. What are the events in reproduction? Human beings, we reproduce sexual means, and human beings are viviparous. Viviparous in the sense they are directly give birth to young ones. They are not laying eggs. Unisexual. And what about the reproductive organs? We are otherwise called gonads. The male sex organs are testis, and the female sex organs are ovary. The ovary, it is occurred in pair. Testis also there is a pair. So in this lesson we are going to study about the male reproductive organ and the female reproductive organ, and gamete formation, how gametes are formed, that is gametogenesis. How gametes are formed, how sperm and ovum are formed, that is spermatogenesis and oogenesis. All these processes we are going to study in this class. Okay, now what are the step-by-step events takes place during reproduction? So a series of 6 steps there. First, gametogenesis, next insemination, fertilization, implantation, gestation, and then parturition. So the transfer of sperm into the female. And then fertilization, that the fusion of male and female gametes resulting zygote. The fourth one, implantation. Once the zygote is formed, the zygote undergoes development. So that zygote must be attached in the uterine wall. The developing embryo must be attached in the uterine wall, then only it can develop. So that process is called implantation. The developing embryo that is attached into the uterine wall, that is implantation. Then after that, gestation. There is the embryonic development from conception to birth. The period, how much time it is there in the uterus, that is gestation. The period of growth, the period of development. Next, parturition, that is the delivery of the baby, that is childbirth. So these are the events takes place in the human reproductive system. First, we are going to study about the male reproductive system. What are the organs involved in male reproductive system, and then what are the organs involved in female reproductive systems. So one by one we are going to deal. First, male reproductive system, where it is located. that is in the pelvic region. The male reproductive system includes a system must possess many organs. Okay, that male reproductive systems includes what are the organs? What are the organs in male reproductive system? They are testes, a pair of testes, and then accessory ducts, accessory glands, and then external genitalia. So in this diagram you can see the different organs of reproductive system. Our reproductive system in the sense not only testes. See here, this is testis, the arrow mark. This is testis. In singular it is testis. A pair of testis is there. So that is the primary male reproductive organ. And not only that, so certain other organs which are found around that. So this is the duct. These are the tubes. And some glands which are there, bulbourethral gland, and then prostrate gland. So these are the glands which are associated with male reproductive system. So male reproductive system in the sense not only the testis, it includes accessory ducts, accessory glands, and then external genitalia. Testis, we are having a pair of testes in the scrotum. Okay, here you can see the location of the testis. This is testis. This is testis, which are found in the scrotum. And then accessory glands, and then accessory ducts. What are the accessory ducts? First, accessory glands. This one, prostrate glands, which is there in the green color, that is prostrate gland. And seminal vesicle, and one more gland is the bulbourethral glands. So these are the glands associated with the male reproductive organs. And then tubes. What are the tubes there in there? What are the accessory ducts? Rete testis, vas efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens. These are the ducts which are associated with the male reproductive organ. This is vas deferens. And then other tubes, epididymis, vas efferentia. So all these are the accessory ducts. And then external genitalia, that is penis. This is the external genitalia. This is the structure of the testis. A pair of testis is there. It is oval in shape, and the dimensions are given 4 to 5 centimeter length, and the width is 2 to 3 centimeter, and it is situated in the pouch, scrotum, that is situated outside the abdominal cavity in the pouch called scrotum. Okay, in scrotum the temperature is little lower than our body temperature. Our body temperature it doesn't support spermatogenesis. So that only in the scrotum is it is little away from that our body. So in the scrotum the temperature will be little lower, that is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius is lower than the normal body temperature. So then only our body can produce viable sperm. So for that purpose only that scrotum is little away from our general body surface. And then testis is covered by a dense covering capsule, tunica albuginea. So that is the outer covering. The outer covering of the testis is tunica albuginea, and inside septae are there. Many septae are there. So these are all the septae. They are dividing the testis into many compartments, many lobes, and then each lobes many lobules are there, and then each lobule 1 2 3 convoluted tubules are there, that is seminiferous tubule. So seminiferous tubules are there in the testis. That is actually the site of spermatogenesis. The sperm production takes place exactly in the seminiferous tubule of the testis. So this is the entire structure you are called as testis, but inside that seminiferous tubules are there. Seminiferous tubules, there only spermatogenesis takes place. So this is the structure of the seminiferous tubule where sperm production takes place. See here, what are the parts labeled here? Stertoli cells, spermatogonia, spermatosova, spermatocyte, spermatids. So these are the different stages of spermatogenesis. From spermatogonia, a mature sperm is formed. From spermatogonia, a spermatosova is formed. Okay, this is the process of sperm production. That is spermatogenesis. Two types of cells are there. In seminiferous tubules, there are two types of cells. One is male germ cells, that is spermatogonia, and the other is Sertoli cells, cells of Sertoli. And the male germ cells, spermatogonia, that undergoes meiotic division and produce sperm. And the another one cells, Sertoli cells, they are supporting cells. They are providing nutrition to the germ cells. They are providing nutrition to the sperm cells. And then outside the seminiferous tubule, there is a space, interstitial space, that is filled with interstitial cells, otherwise Leydig cells. Interstitial cells and Leydig cells. And these Leydig cells, they secrete male hormone, that is androgen. Testosterone is a major androgen. Okay. So these things you must keep it in your mind while we are studying about seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules, the major type of cells, two cells, spermatogonia and Sertoli cells. From the spermatogonia, sperm is produced, and the Sertoli cells are supporting cells. They are providing nutrition to the germ cells. And the one more cells, Leydig cells, otherwise interstitial cells, it is producing androgen. It is a male hormone. It is a androgen. It is testosterone. And in this diagram, you can see the accessory ducts of the male reproductive system, that is rete testis, vas efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens. So all these structures you can see in this diagram. Lobules, tunica albuginea, septa, and then rete testis. So here seminiferous tubules are there. From the seminiferal tubules, the sperm is transported to the rete testis, and then efferent ductules, and then epididymis, and then through epididymis it will be sent to the vas deferens. So this is the route of sperm transportation. The sperm which is produced in the seminiferous tubule must come out through the urethra. So through which way? What is the path of transportation? So that is given. Here look at this flowchart. Seminiferous tubules, where only sperm is produced, And from the seminiferal tubule, vas efferentia, and then epididymis, vas deferens. So all these are only tubes. Some of the tubes are narrow, whereas some of the tubes are broad. So through this route only it reaches the outer surface. And then external genitalia, it is the penis, it is the copulatory organ. It is made up of special tissues that is used to facilitate insemination, through which only the semen is transmitted to the female reproductive tract. And then accessory glands. The accessory glands. What are the accessory glands associated with male reproductive systems? Seminal vesicle, prostate gland, pulbourethral gland. These three are the important glands associated with male reproductive organ. Here, that seminal vesicle and pulbourethral glands are found as pairs, but prostate gland is only a single gland. So all these glands secrete seminal plasma. Seminal plasma is the liquid which is secreted by these three accessory glands. So what is the role of seminal plasma? Actually, the sperms are found in the seminal plasma. First, the nature of the seminal plasma. What are the things there in the seminal plasma? Fructose, calcium, and certain enzymes are there. Okay, now male reproductive organ is over. The next, female reproductive system. Female reproductive system is located in the pelvic region. It includes a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina, and external genitalia. So all these organs, they are collectively called the female reproductive system, not only ovaries. So these are the organs associated with the ovaries. Ovaries, oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina, and external genitalia. And oviducts, uterus, vagina are accessory ducts. So these three are the ducts only. And a pair of mammary glands also there, that is used for nourishing the offsprings, that is used for feeding the young ones. So all these parts, they are integrated structurally and functionally to support ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, birth, and child care. So all these processes, not only ovulation, and after that fertilization, pregnancy, childbirth, and child care, all these things, all processes must be carried out by these organs. Okay, ovaries, oviducts, uterus, cervix, vagina, external genitalia, all these organs, they are involved in ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, birth, and child care. So this is the structure of the female reproductive system, which is showing the uterus. So this diagram, what are the different parts? A pair of ovary is there. Look at that ovary, the oval shaped ovary in both sides, a pair of ovary, and then this is uterus. So this cavity is uterine cavity, and both sides tubes are there. So that is fallopian tube. So the right side and also the left side, a pair of fallopian tubules. The fallopian tube itself, three regions are there: isthmus, ampulla, and infundibulum. At the edge of the infundibulum, there is fimbriae. And these things, what are the three layers of the uterus? Endometrium, myometrium, and perimetrium. The uterus is formed of 3 layers. Endometrium, that is the innermost layer, and the middle myometrium, and then perimetrium. 3 layers of uterus, and then here vagina, cervical canal, and cervix. So this is about the female reproductive system. Okay, next, female gonads, ovaries. Ovaries are the primary female sex organs that produce female gametes. Ovum, it produces several female hormones, that is estrogen and progesterone. Ovaries function not only producing ovum, it also produces some hormones, especially estrogen and progesterone. The ovaries are located in the lower abdomen. Okay. This is the structure of the ovary. So this is the structure of the ovary. You know that where ovary is located. See here, this is ovary. And this structure is enlarged in the next slide. Actually, this is the ovary where only ovum is produced. So now I am showing that the next diagram, there the ovary must be enlarged. The ovary will be enlarged. Okay, this is the ovary. What are the things? So ovary in the sense where ovum is produced. Where ovum is produced. Okay. Primordial follicles, primary follicles. So these are the gradual development of ovum. Okay. Oocytes, secondary follicles, and then from the secondary follicles, the ovum is released out from the ovary. That is ovulation. So from that the follicles, ovary is out. It is ovulated. So that process is called ovulation. I said already, in the female reproductive system, there are different processes. So ovulation is also one of the processes. That is, ovulation is release of ovum. Ovum is matured, or ovum is developed in the ovary, and after development, that must be released and released out. That is ovulation. Where it is released? From the ovary, where it is released? It is released into the fallopian tube. How it is released into the ovarian tube? Now look at the diagram. See here, this is ovary. There only ovum is produced, ovum is matured, and the matured ovum is collected by this fimbriae region of the fallopian tube, and it will be taken to the fallopian tube. Okay, fertilization actually takes place here. Okay, the ovum which is formed in the ovary is now taken to the fallopian tube, and in the fallopian tube only fertilization takes place, and after the fertilization, the fertilized eggs will be moved towards the uterus, and now that ovum is in the uterus, and the uterus only the zygote implanted in the ovum. Okay, why I am showing this diagram again, in the sense you must understand the location of the ovary. In the previous slide I shown the structure of the ovary where ovum is produced. Once the ovum is matured, it must be released. That is ovulation. Where it is released? The ovum produced in the ovary is released into the, very good, it is released into the fallopian tube, and in the fallopian tube fertilization takes place. How fertilization takes place? Fertilization is the union of sperm and ovum. Okay, now through this way sperm enter the uterus and it comes up to the fallopian tube. Sperm come from this side and then ovum come from this side. Here fertilization takes place. So fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube, and after fertilization it moves towards the uterus, and in the uterus it gets implanted. Okay, and this is the transverse section of the ovaries, developing follicles in different stages. Primary follicle develops into Craffian follicles with mature ovum. So all these things I said already. What are accessory ducts associated with female reproductive organ? Oviduct, uterus, and vagina. Okay, now you can see this is the structure of ovary, where ovum is developed. Okay, and once ovum is developed, the developed ovum must be released, that is ovulation. That will be taken to the fallopian tube. Okay, and then it will be taken to the uterus. Okay, next. Now the three layers of the uterus: perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. Perimetrium is the external thin membrane, myometrium is the middle thick layer of smooth muscles, and that is responsible for the strong contraction during delivery. So during the delivery, that uterus must be in the state of contraction. So that contraction is affected by the smooth muscles which are found in the myometrium of the uterus. So myometrium is the middle thick layer of the uterus that is responsible for the contraction, that is responsible for the delivery. And then endometrium is the inner glandular layer, and the cyclic changes during the menstrual cycle takes place in the endometrium. And then external genitalia, the female external genitalia includes mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, clitoris. These are the accessory and external genitalia. This is mammary glands. Reproduction, female reproductive system not only includes ovaries, not only includes oviduct, not only includes uterus, it also includes mammary glands. A pair of mammary glands. It's a glandular tissue divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobes. That mammary lobes containing cluster of cells called alveoli. In alveoli, milk is secreted. See this diagram. Milk is secreted in the alveoli. So in the singular it is mammary alveolus. Okay, and alveoli secrete milk and is stored in the lumen of the alveoli. And after that it opens in the mammary tubules, and the tubules of each lobe join to form a mammary duct. Many ducts joined form lactiferous duct through which milk is sucked out. So this is a small things about mammary glands. Okay, how milk is secreted, and how it is, where it is stored, and how it is transported through the tubes, and it will be ejected out. So next, gametogenesis. The process of formation of gametes is called gametogenesis. Okay, two gametogenesis, actually spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Spermatogenesis is formation of sperm, oogenesis is formation of ovum. First, spermatogenesis. So straight away you can come to the diagram. So diagram you can easily understand this is the structure of the spermatogenesis. Spermatogonium. Spermatogenesis. It is the process of formation of spermatids. It involves three substages. That is multiplication phase, growth phase, and then maturation phase. First, multiplication. The spermatogonium undergoes cell division, that is by mitosis. Spermatogonium undergo cell division and it produces spermatogonia, many spermatogonia. The spermatogonia are in 2n stage, and the 2n stage in the sense the number of chromosomes in these cells are 46. And then the spermatogonia undergoes growth and reaches the next stage, that is primary spermatocyte. In primary spermatocyte also the number of chromosomes is 46, that is 2n. If it is 2n, the number of chromosome is 46. If it is denoted as n, then the number of chromosome is 23. Okay, so up to primary spermatocyte, the number of chromosome is not changed. The number of chromosome is not reduced. But now coming to the next stage, actually meiosis cell division is going to be take place. Meiosis in the sense reduction division. What is reduced? The number of chromosome is reduced. So primary spermatocyte number of chromosome is 2n. In the secondary spermatocyte it is n. Okay. So the chromosome number is off, getting off from 46 to 23. So in the secondary spermatocyte only 23 chromosomes are there, and the next division is meiosis 2, and by this division again two cells are produced. These are spermatids. These spermatids are also n, only 23 chromosomes are there, and after that spermatids are transformed into spermatozova. Spermatids are differentiated into spermatozova. This process is actually spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis. Actually, two processes are there. So the spermatogonia from the starting point, from spermatogonia to spermatozova, the entire process is called spermatogenesis. The last process from spermatid to spermatozova, the last process is called actually spermiogenesis. The differentiation of spermatids into spermatozova is called spermiogenesis. And one more term, spermiation. What is spermiation? Once the sperm is formed, it must be released from the seminiferous tubule. That process is called spermiation. The release of sperm from the seminiferous tubule is called spermiation. Okay. Next, what are the hormones associated with spermatogenesis? What are the hormones associated with spermatogenesis? That we can see in the next class. Thank you.